Good day and welcome to the South African lawn. Owens, so you've got weeds, or you just like to look at me having weeds. In this video, I'll be tackling them. Be sure to stick around. All right. So the weeds, Owens. But first things first, this lawn is looking beautiful. Because the weather is beautiful and this lawn is just peaking. It's in its prime. Even the putting green is in its prime. Owens, still here, trying to fill that in. Still suckling a bit there and there, basically filled in, but the rest is glorious. It is looking so good. I am pumped. I'm pumped. Okay, enough with the funny accents, guys. It's such a real shame that I've got weeds on this lawn because it is absolutely looking good. It might accept a bit of a fertilizer. To be 100% honest with you, I've built a new path here in my garden, as you can see, which is lacquered. It might accept a bit of a fertilizer. Some areas is losing a little bit of color, but in general, beautiful. Let me tell you my honest opinion about weeds. I don't think it's the biggest deal ever. If you continue to mow and chop it down to the same level as the grass, normally looks pretty good. No one can tell me that this doesn't look good. However, we're going to try and spray them out. What I've got here is the same old oxalis, and in the middle of the day you can even sometimes see them flower if you haven't mowed for 2 or 3 days. So I'm going to spray some super lawn weeder, 50 mils of that product in 5 liters of water right now. I'm going to try and tackle them. And I'm going to try and do, if I do remember, hopefully, I'll give you an update as well. Hopefully I'll tackle them, I'll control them quite effectively. But I'm going to try and do a follow-up application as well. All right? Right, and so right here I've got my brand new battery sprayer, which has really, honestly speaking, been a dream come true. The last month or two since I've been using this thing, it makes it effortless to spray your lawn with whatever you want to spray it with. So like I've said, I've got 50 mils of super lawn weeder right in here with some Oro Vital, which is actually a fertilizer, but I'm using it as a surfactant just to break the surface tension so it can help it stick to the leaf blade of my weeds here. So I'm going to spray this sucker. We're going to see how that goes, and hopefully in 4 or 5 days we'll see them wilt. We'll see the weeds go and they die off, hopefully. And if needs be, I'll do a follow-up application because it just seems to me like I'm struggling a little bit to get this weed under control. I hope they've not built up a little bit of a tolerance against my herbicide right here, Owens. But let's spray it and let's see what the results are. Okay. All right, guys, so here we go. I'm going to spray, and I'm going to use the lines of my mowing to guide me where to spray. And to be honest with you, I'm going to do a blanket application because this weed has really spread almost across the entire lawn, which is a bit of an issue to me at this stage because I don't really like to spray herbicides all over everything. So I'm going to be really careful. It's not that windy. It's actually quite still at the moment. Let's hope it doesn't get windy. I'm going to try and not get it on my plants because this herbicide, being a broadleaf herbicide, will definitely hurt my plants in the process of spraying it onto that as well. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to spray the entire area. Like I say, I don't like to blanket spray normally. I like to just spot spray and treat the areas with the weeds only. But now it's almost over the entire lawn, so let me go for it. Guys, so I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It's pretty much the same sprayer as the Red Rhino I've had, used in the past, but it just makes things so effortless. The only real issue I've had is I had to get used to walking a lot faster because this thing puts out liquid quite a lot faster. I'm sure if I put a finer nozzle on it, it will kind of restrict the flow a little bit more and I could walk slower. But really, if you're spraying 200 square meters and more, that pump sprayer becomes a little bit of an arm saw after a while, guys. To be 100% honest with you, that thing takes some power to get going, especially, like I say, after 20 minutes if you're spraying 200 square meters or more. This really is a dream when spraying large areas. So if you've got a large area, I would really recommend you getting or thinking of getting a battery sprayer. Guys, so the lawn is sprayed and it's a little bit shiny. You probably won't see it on camera, but you can see these lighter areas, these lighter green areas. It looks like invasive grasses. It's not, it's weeds. It's weeds. And it's killing me. So I've sprayed it, so I'll come back in a couple of days. For you, not too long, only a couple of seconds, and then we'll see what the progress is on killing these weeds. And I'm not a serial killer. I don't like death, actually, to be honest with you, but I like to see when weeds die. Yeah, alright, Owens. So good evening and welcome back to approximately a 1 week update. Alright, and unfortunately I have to do this at night under the lights, as you can see quite clearly, because some of us has a day job, you know, and this is a sideshow. So let's look at the results, Owens. It's about a week. Okay, Owens, so there's the lawn. Looking quite nice under the lights. I must be honest with you, the one side of my lawnmower is not cutting as it should, so it's making these lines. But if you look a little bit closer, upon closer inspection, you'll find the existing weeds. And we sprayed it about a week back, and just look at that, Owens. Maybe a little bit difficult to see on camera, but these weeds are still flowering. They are still thriving. And that is a royal shame, to say the least. I'm quite disappointed with the results. There's some areas that is, you know, it's bleached it a bit. You can see that it's wilting a bit, but not really taking control. You know, the general stuff like, yeah, it's taken almost nothing, almost no steam out of that. Another flower, beautiful. Look there. So that's quite disappointing results, Owens, and we'll talk about why I think this happened. Oh geez, where was the camera? Why I think this happened, and also what we can do now, okay? Right, so I just looked at the footage now that I just took, and I must be 100% honest, it's a little bit more difficult to see in the nighttime, so I'll come back in a day or two and show you a day update. It's a little bit easier to see in clear daylight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it again with a leftover. I'm just going to spot spray on the areas that I see. But I must be honest, I think the biggest culprit or the main reason for these weeds not to die off is they've been present for probably around 2 months. I think they're just too mature. A couple of things when something like this happens. When you spray and you don't get very good results, might not be that you're using the wrong herbicide. Could be, but it might not be. So either you might be spraying while the lawn is wet, or you might irrigate, or the lawn might get wet shortly after you have sprayed, or like in my scenario right here, I think these weeds, because I can't see that I've irrigated or the lawn was wet while I sprayed, these weeds might be a little bit tough, you know. In other words, it's a lot easier to control a weed that is just sprung, has just germinated. So an older plant, a more mature plant, dies significantly harder than a younger one. All right, so here we go spraying, second attempt. So I must be honest, it feels like not enough chemical in here, but we'll see how far we get, and then if I don't have enough, we'll at least have an area to compare to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to overspray, I'm still only going to treat it once and move on. Okay, and so I've probably treated about 80% of the areas. I must be honest with you, I can't see it as well, even with my naked eye under these lights. They do tend to disappear a little bit into the grass blades with the rest of the grass. So I'll see you in a day or two, and then we'll see if we've got some better success. Cheers. All right, Owen, so it is another couple of days, probably 5 or 6 days later, and the results, he's questionable, he's doubtable, he's oddly not that great. To be honest with you, in the past I've knocked it with Super Lawn Weeder and Peak simultaneously together, and I had better results than I do have now. However, these are fairly mature weeds, and I always want to change my mind and say, guys, I've got bluesills. I think it's the end of winter. Okay, so sorry, I got a little bit distracted, but that's the first bluesills, the first forming of buds, is that what you call it, that I've seen this year. I want to change my mind and say that I think also cooler weather could hinder the success. You know, if this weed isn't growing actively, because it's been sitting here for a few months. So now I want to tackle a problem that's quite old. So yeah, let's get a close up here. Oh my word. All right, guys, so I don't know if it's the time of the day. The sun's almost setting, but I can't see it proper. You know, it's giving a whitish color. I'm not sure why it's brownish. With the eye, it looks a lot greener, yeah, but whatever. So if you look closely, I have knocked these weeds, definitely. Just have a look there. As you can see, they are definitely wilting, but I can't really say that I've completely controlled them. So it's as if I would say there's a 50% success, but not 100%, you know, blowout, and then we just wait for the next to come up and then just smash them again. I'm probably controlling about 50% of the problem as I'm ticking along here, which is taking a little bit longer. So hopefully I can make up a stronger mixture. I have to get rid of them. I just simply cannot leave them. If you look at the lawn in general, it looks pretty good. But you can see these, it looks like invasive grasses, but it's not, guys. It's an influx, and wherever they come up, they kind of take over the area. So it's really something that I'll have to control. So I'm gonna mix up a little bit of a stronger mixture. It hasn't hurt the grass, to be honest with you. So I'll mix up a stronger mixture and we'll see how it goes. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. To all the new subscribers, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. We're almost up to 2,500 subscribers. I really appreciate everyone watching, and especially if you watched till this point in the video, till the end. I will see you in the next video. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.